Good evening, everybody, and welcome to 2021 first teacher talk sessions. I'm so excited, and because this will be an exciting session too, because I have a very, special guest for me also. She was one of my teachers from the university, and so I'm so excited to listen to her here. And before I invite her here, I would like to give some information about her. She's a assistant professor, Çağda Kıvanç Çağanağa. She's a head of elementary education from European University of Lefke, and she's a great one, really. So I'm sure that you are looking forward to seeing her here and listening to her here tonight, just like me. And I hope that it's going to be a very educational and fruitful live session for us and for us. Yes. So let me invite her. I don't want to make you wait here. So when she comes, we can start our conversation. Hello. Yes. I'm waiting for her to join. I have invited her. Just a moment. Let me invite again. Yes. We are waiting for her. Yes. Hi. Hello, Çağda hocam. There she is.
Hi, Orkan.
Hi.
I'm very pleased to see you.
It's great to see you, but is it possible to turn your yes?
Yeah.
Now, great.
Okay.
It's great. Thank you.
Not so.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you here.
I'm very pleased to see you too.
Yeah, and it's also great honor to me to start, to start 2020's first teacher talk sessions with you.
Thank you very much. And so, I'm very proud of you, actually, to be with my graduate, to be with a Lefke University graduate. I'm very happy and pleased. And I would like to say hello to everyone from all over the world.
Thank you very much. I'm also very happy that I had a chance to be your student. It was really nice. It was really nice. And so here I am. And now we are together and we are going to have a really nice conversation. And I'm sure that we will learn a lot of things from you tonight. And I'm really excited, just like our listeners, our guests. I'm sure that they are also very excited to listen to you. And they have been waiting for this moment for a week nearly, like me.
Yeah.
if it is okay, and we can start. Çağla hocam.
Okay.
Right. As you know that some of the listeners know you, but some people are joining from abroad. Maybe they don't know you exactly. So is it possible to tell us yourself a little bit?
Okay. I'm an English teacher. I have been teaching for about 24 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm getting old, Volkan.
But you look great.
Thank you. Actually, I am a graduate of Lefke University. I'm always proud of this. At the moment, I'm the head of the elementary education, Department of Elementary Education. And about myself, I can give some keywords actually. I'm a very humanistic person. You know me, actually.
Yeah, of course.
Enthusiastic. I love people. I love talking. I love my job, actually. And it gave me power, let's say. Okay, this is me,
Great.
shortly.
Okay, great. And as you said that you love people, I'm sure that people love you too, just like us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Çağda hocam, can you tell us about your? I know you have a huge, the experience about teaching. So can you give us about it a little bit, please? Your teaching experience.
Actually, I love reading. I love studying, and I studied English language teaching. Then I did my master degree on English language teaching and international relations. And then I did my PhD on educational administration and supervision. I mean, they're all related, actually. I mean, people say, wow, but they are really related, and it really supports me in my teaching, studying different subjects, but they are really close to each other. And I like, at the moment, writing articles. I'm writing articles about education, classroom management, educational philosophy, educational politics. So both writing and reading, and at the same time doing practice in real classrooms.
I see. Great. And the things that you are writing, they are really important for us.
Yeah.
The important areas. It's wonderful. Yeah. I would like to read one of them one day. Share with us.
Okay. Just search on Google.
Okay. Thank you. And Çağda hocam, this question is about you. Like, what was your favorite moment or experience in your own education?
As I said before, I'm an English teacher, and when I first went to Scotland, I realized that people speak English differently, and it was really amazing for me because you know English, you are an English teacher, you understand me better, and it was a really hard accent, and it was really difficult to understand people. And at that moment, I said, language is for communication, and we have to teach learners actually how to communicate, not teaching RP or Queen's English. Instead, we have to teach people communicate because sharing is important. So in language teaching, we usually focus on grammatical issues. We focus on writing compositions, doing this and that. But actually, simple things, communicating is important. Communication is important. So it's better to focus on in our own classrooms to make our learners or to help our learners to communicate. That's the main issue, I think, in foreign language.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Çağda hocam, most of you know that where you are working now, but can you tell us about your current business and what kind of things you are doing there?
Okay. At the beginning of my speech, I said I'm the head of the elementary education. And at the moment, I'm teaching candidate teachers how to manage their classrooms, how to deal with disciplinary problems. I also teach educational philosophy, sociology, Turkish educational system. So these are more actually, these are far from, let's say, further from language teaching. It's just what's it like to be a teacher?
Yes.
Or how you can gain knowledge in time, how you can improve your practice. So these things actually are important for candidate teachers. And also, although I try to give them, let's say, my ideas, my, let's say, way of looking at things, the most important thing is making people focus on their own teaching. I do believe that every teacher has to have their own teaching identity. I cannot teach this to anyone. For example, as a teacher, Volkan, you have a way of teaching, and you gain this in time, actually. Your education, your experience in life, your way of looking at the world, your way of communication, interaction with people. So these are important things in, let's say, teacher education or professional development, because we usually focus on, at the moment, I am the teacher trainer of TKT course, Teaching Knowledge Test of Cambridge University. And
Wonderful.
here, thank you. Here we focus on, let's say, classroom management, teacher behaviors, teacher beliefs, practice. What you believe actually clashes in practice. There are many theories, approaches, strategies, but what you really do or teach in classrooms are different from your ideas, because every classroom or every student is unique. Even twins are not the same in the world. How come? How come the classrooms or the students we assume will be the same? So these are the things actually we need to focus on in teacher education.
I see. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Çağda Hocam. Çağda Hocam, as you know that I think since March we have a really difficult times with this COVID-19, and because of it we have to move the online platforms, as you know that we are all using the online platforms, and it's really hard for us to do it. It's not like a face-to-face education. So I would like to ask you that what kind of problems, I'm sure that you are also doing your the classes with online. And what kind of problems have you faced with the online education and with the platforms?
We have started, you're right, actually. We started in March, and we got some in-service training in our universities. We are learning. Actually, we have been learning for about 2 semesters. I mean, it's also new for us. And the difficult part of it is doing exams, I can say. That's really, it's really difficult because you are trying to communicate through behind a screen, and there's no real interaction. Especially as Turkish people, we love touching people. We love hugging. We love showing our enthusiasm. We love showing our feelings, and it's really difficult to share such things. That's the humanistic part of us, and it's really difficult to have such not to have such a connection with your students, especially with the newcomers, because they are new. They wonder about Cyprus. They would like to learn Cyprus or Lefke University, and you are giving information. You are describing how the university is or what the situation is like, but it's limited. And the most difficult, it was, I guess, last week. I suddenly said in one of my courses, I wanted to see you now. I wish I was in class and talking to you or teaching you face to face. Of course, you know what you're going to teach. Of course, you can manage time. You can do these things, but that's not enough in teaching, because our target group is human. I mean, we have got feelings, we have got perceptions, we have got such things that we cannot actually describe, but they are the important part of language learning, or any kind of learning actually, because people have to be together, people need their peer support, teacher support.
Exactly.
People need extra internet skills, or let's say ICT skills during nowadays, let's say. I mean, all these things are really difficult, both for us and for the students. But as a teacher, as an experienced teacher, I wish we could do something on examinations, because we are doing something different from real life. And then at the end, we are trying to do something similar to real life. Let's say asking multiple choice questions, or asking WH questions, or asking fill in the gaps. I mean, or to have a context-based examinations, you need to teach context-based. So I think there's a huge, let's say, deficiency. We have to work on online education. We have to work on online examination, how to deal with these things nowadays. I guess in the future we will continue teaching like that.
I see.
I don't think we will give up easily. I hope to give up easily, but
it will not be easy, as you said. And also, and as you mentioned about also maybe the reliability of the exams also.
Reliability, yes, confidentiality, reliability. I mean, all these things are really important, because you are actually in real life, you are most of the time assessing the performance. You're looking at the performance.
Yes.
And how can you going to assess the performance through online courses?
I see. Okay, thank you. We will see what's gonna happen about
we will
this.
Study on it.
Yeah, I see. And Çağda hocam, thank you very much for this answer. And my next question is about, the teachers. As a teachers, we have a huge workload, especially after this, the lockdown. So, and our duties take, more time in distance education than it takes face-to-face classes. What would you suggest us to maintain our well-being? And could you give us also tips in terms of balancing our workload, Çağda hocam?
Actually, planning is important. I mean, as teachers, we are familiar with planning. We have got curriculums, syllabus, but this time we have to plan our times. That's important. We have got only 24 hours, not more or less. And we need to have our personal lives. We have to have time for our personal lives as well. We have to, as dietitians or doctors say, we have to drink water, we have to exercise. Okay, these are the things that we have to do for our physiological well-being. But for our psychological well-being, we have to have a rest. I mean, it's better if we can. It's better to organize or plan our days. That's the most important thing, because we are the, let's say, we usually forget about ourselves. We always cancel. We always say, okay, I did this later. If it's about you, I did this later. I did this, okay, next week, next month. There's always a next in our lives. But there shouldn't be a next. I mean, the pandemic period taught me to focus on myself. That's a very, let's say, important period in my life. We have learned many things. I always look at things from the learning perspective. And I have learned that I have to focus on my life, my classrooms, my students, myself. I mean, you are improving, you are learning, and you're struggling actually. It's a challenging period. Although I have got experience, I can say that most of the days, I mean, I was nervous. I mean, you are bound to electricity, you're bound to internet. There are always limitations. There are always limitations, but the most important thing is focusing on our lives and focusing on time management, which are important, I guess, for all of us.
Thank you. And you said something like that. This period time, taught us about like thinking, sometimes thinking ourselves. I think this is teachers' common problem. As we teachers, I think others more than ourselves sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with you. But we have to change actually, because if you are well, I always say in my class, tell my students in my classrooms, if you're happy, if you're good, students will feel it wherever they are. It's not only for face-to-face education. When you enter the classroom, or when you, let's say, enter the online classroom, you have to be happy, relaxed, okay? Because we are people. We affect each other. If you're good, if you're happy, if you feel that everything's going smoothly, students will feel it. Their ages are not important. Even primary school students can feel whether you're nervous, you're excited, you're sad. So I think we have to focus on, of course, first ourselves, but then the people that we are with.
I always have a sentence like and I really liked it. Maybe you agree with me. Like, students don't want a perfect teacher; they want a happy teacher. Like this.
Yeah,
you can be a perfect.
I agree with you.
Exactly, you can be a perfect, but if you're not happy, if you're always sad, so it doesn't mean anything for the students. I saw something someone wrote here. It's been 11 years, but now, like, I am in the class again in UL with the teacher. Thank you for those who organize this meeting. It's also great for us to have her here. It's wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Since people saw the poster, Volkan, everyone started to send me messages.
Wonderful.
And I'm very happy. I'm very happy. That's the most important part of my job. Having people in my life. People are important for me. I mean,
exactly.
As teachers, we don't earn much, but we have a lot of friends, which is more than having millions in my pocket. I would like to thank everyone for sending us hugs.
Yeah, lots of hearts you are taking, and loves and saying eyes, and they're all here for a great one.
I miss every one of them. I miss every one of them.
Great fun. Okay, Çağda hocam, thank you very much for this answer. So, can I move to other question?
Of course.
And my question is about the course books. Do you think course books are essential component of our lessons, and what is their place in our education, and especially these days?
For novice teachers, I can say that they are important. I mean, you need a guide because you are new, students are new, the classroom is new for you. For novice teachers, yes, but in time, you have to add to the course book. Course books are not holy books because you are the only material, I always say, because your gesture, your body language, your activities, your songs, your games are more important than the course book. I am not opposed to course books, but you have to have something next to your course book.
I see. Okay, great. Thank you. I see. Okay, so you mean that it's just like we should use it as not as a compulsory thing.
Yeah, it's just like a friend in your train journey.
I see. Thank you. Okay, so my other question is about this professional development. Çağda hocam, we got many chances to attend webinars during pandemic period, and we still have, except webinars, or online seminars or conferences. What can we do for our professional growth these days?
During this period, actually, I discovered Coursera.org. I don't know whether you have heard or not.
I know it's Coursera.
You can get, it's really wonderful. You can join the courses, you can get certificates or diplomas from prestigious universities. So I strongly recommend Coursera.org. And plus, for English teachers, you can look at Cambridge ESL page. They are really good examinations, sample, past papers. You have to, people from, let's say, for various ages, from primary school till university education. There are various activities, sources. So two sites that I frequently visit are Coursera and Cambridge ESL.
Coursera and Cambridge ESL. Okay, so I think, is it correct? I wrote it down like Coursera.com. Can you see it?
Yes. It's correct. It's correct.
Okay, Coursera.com.
It's not .com, it's .org organization, I guess.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Coursera.org. I corrected. Okay.
And all courses are free. All courses are free.
Courses are free. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's very useful for us.
Yeah.
Very much for this very useful website. And so there's a question, but I will come that question later. So, okay. So my next question is about the language teachers. So for you train them right now. I mean, like the candidate teachers. So what are the characteristics of effective language teachers for you, Çağda Hocam?
Really difficult question. Okay, a good teacher is someone who actually who is enthusiastic. That's the thing. A good teacher is someone who loves people. A good teacher is someone who loves laughing. But a good teacher has to be organized, active, and creative, like your site. Really, creativity is really important. You can create your own activities. You can, let's say, sing songs with your learners. You can do actually funny things in the classrooms. You can enjoy with your learners. So a good teacher is someone who is relaxed in the classroom. So be yourself in your own classrooms. I mean, as people, the word persona, personality, the word persona comes from the Latin word, and it means mask. And we are wearing masks. Every day of our lives, we are wearing masks. We are someone's wife, we are someone's husband, we are someone's teacher, we are someone's student. Okay, we are wearing masks. And instead of wearing these different masks in classrooms, be yourself. Be relaxed and try to learn, try to teach, but most of the time, try to learn from your learners. Although we are teaching, we are learning at the same time.
Yes.
Because how to teach, how to stop, how to organize. Okay, these are the things that makes our brains sometimes burn. And really, you have to focus on yourself. So if you become yourself in your classrooms, the next things will come later. So shortly, a good teacher is someone who is unique, actually. I can not say that this is, let's say, Volkan is the best teacher or Çağda is the best teacher. No, there's no best teacher. The best teacher is the best in the best classroom. So the circumstances are important. My last year, from my last year course, I have got students. This year I have got different students. This year I am experiencing pandemic period. Okay.
Yes.
And last year I was different. We are changing all the time. If we are changing, the classrooms or the atmosphere have to change.
You are right. You are right. I definitely agree with you, Çağda Hocam. Thank you. Thank you. Would you like to add anything, or can I move to other question?
Yeah, you can move on to other
Thank you. Thank you. There was a question. Yes, we are recording now, so you can watch the session later. There's a question. Are you recording it? That's why I give an answer. As you are working at the university, Çağda Hocam, what would you suggest to the teachers to establish an effective rapport with the candidate teachers Why I ask teachers? Because you are educating them. That's why I said teachers.
A positive and respectful atmosphere. Because you are with novice teachers, they are trying to learn, they are trying to do their best, especially when they go to their teaching practice, the real classrooms, when they met with real students. So instead of saying this is wrong, this is not the right way teaching it, we have to have a positive, respectful relationship with them. And while we are, let's say, writing down our reports, or while we are talking to them, instead of saying this is that, it's better to say it would be better to do, or if I were you, I would do this and that. So being positive and having a respectful relationship will make them move on, will make them gain knowledge, understand the practice, because for 3 years, they believe in what they read or what they listen from their teachers. But what you believe is different from the practice. Belief and practice in real classrooms clash. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to have a connection between our beliefs and practice, we have to have a positive, constructive, and respectful atmosphere, so that we can learn together. Because it's not easy to tell someone, go into that classroom and teach past simple.
Yes.
Okay, we know past simple. We know he or she may know it very well, but teaching is something different. What you learn or what you know is different from teaching. You have to know.
Definitely.
You have to know the students. You have to know how they learn. You have to consider their learning styles, their learning strategies, their background, because we have got different students from different parts of the world, or from different backgrounds, or we have students who have more than one language.
Yes.
And it's not an easy, let's say, process to learn a foreign language, because at the same time you're learning the culture, you're trying to communicate the teacher with a different language. You are trying to protect yourself, especially if you are a shy student. I mean, you don't want to put yourself down, and sometimes we stop talking, or students stop talking. That's not an easy thing to learn a new language. So considering these things and trying to teach in such an, let's say, chaotic event, we have to help the novice teachers.
Yeah, I see. Thank you very much. That's a really wonderful answer, I think, for this question. Thank you very much, Hocam. It's very useful for us to see it. And there is also another writing. I feel very lucky as a graduate student of EOL. Also really proud of knowing we perfectly educated in prep school by Çağda Hocam. Yes, this one is a great one.
I love this body language.
Great one. Great one. And there is a question. Is it possible to, how we can determine our learner styles in our online classes?
It's better to have a need. It's not a needs analysis, actually. It's better the first moment, the first lesson. It's better to get to know each other. So we may have simple questions to find out their learning styles. And there are various hundreds of learning styles questionnaire on the net. So it's better to do it on the first week of your teaching.
Thank you. I think that's the answer for that question. So there's also another writing that I would like to read to you. I had a serious facial expression, and you told me smiling, my lovely teacher. I'll never forget that. So these are really nice experiences. Çağda Hocam. All right, thank you. So Çağda, my next question is about mixability students. So what strategies would be effective to handle mixability students in learning English as a foreign language or teaching English as a foreign language for our students?
First of all, we need to consider, or we need to do range of tasks, because we're always focusing on one activity, or because it's not time consuming. We prefer certain activities. It's better to have range of tasks. It's better to give extra homework, maybe, to keep these students busy. We can support the weaker students. What else? Maybe discussion may work. I usually have needs analysis at the beginning of my courses. What kind of needs will those students have? Or we can focus on students' self-awareness, because generally we are not aware of ourselves, especially when we are younger. We don't know our, let's say, good parts and bad parts. Some people are really lucky and they are good at learning languages. Some people, I'm afraid, are not lucky and it takes time. So for those students, we need to give extra support. Their peers may help them. We may help them. We may give extra homework. We may have different tasks or activities in the classrooms. We have to be careful about error correction for TAJ learners, because we usually correct the errors with the whole class, or we correct the errors with an individual. Maybe we can have peer work, peer corrections. So having ranges, having different tasks, different activities, different correction techniques may help to have these learners, or to make them learn, or to make them love the language.
I see. Thank you, Çağda hocam. Thank you. That's the really nice advices from you to follow in our mixability classes, because it's really hard, to teach in mixability classes. So we need to find the best, the way to teach in that kind of classes.
We should always vary our activities. Whatever we do, we shouldn't stick on one kind of activity or one kind of error correction technique. When there is variety of activities, variety of tasks, variety of error correction techniques, we include everyone into our lesson.
In our lesson, exactly. That's what we want. Thank you. Çağda hocam, my other question is, does the learning process, the actually matter, or is it all about the achievement of outcomes? What do you think?
I'm on the process side, because the end is not important, because during the process you are trying to learn, you're making mistakes, and what you do or what you teach or what students learn may help them. If they can communicate at the end, I can say that, okay, I'm on the right way, or the students are on the right way. But if they get, let's say, 100 out of 100 and cannot communicate, I am afraid we are not good teachers. If students can communicate after you teach, if students can express themselves, you are a good teacher, or they are good learners. So most of the time, unfortunately, in our classes, we focus on form. We focus on the grammatical issue. We focus on certain rules. But these are not enough. Of course, they are important. I'm not saying that they are not important. But these are the things that they should come with the function. Because if students cannot use the language properly, it doesn't matter whether they know present simple or past simple. So form and function should go together, and the process is important, because during the process, during the learning journey, it's like life. There are always ups and downs.
Yes.
And we are learning during the process. Of course, we are going to make mistakes. We are going to, let's say, fail from our examinations. But at the end of the day, if you can communicate, that's the actually passing grade for me. If my students, yes, if my students can communicate, it means I taught them well and they learned. But if they pass, let's say, the examination and they got 100 out of 100 and cannot communicate, this doesn't mean that we achieved or they are successful. So being successful in language learning is communicating well, knowing both the form and the function at the same time.
Wow. Great point, Çağda hocam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's actually also we want to make our students talk, communicate by using the language.
It's tiring. It takes time. It's tiring. But if you love your students, if you love your job, if you like preparing materials, I love preparing materials for my learners. If you're doing these things, at the end of the day, you say, I love this job. I mean, it's really important for your inner voice as well.
Definitely. Thank you, Çağda hocam. Çağda hocam, let's move to other question. Like, what do you find most frustrating and rewarding about teaching?
Bureaucracy, I would say. There are always laws and regulations. There are always deadlines, which makes me crazy because that's frustrating. Some students learn in a week. Some students learn in a day. Some students learn in a month. But we assume that they learn in a week. A unit is for a week. And that's something crazy. In the future, you will see there will be individualized learning. We will focus on, especially after the pandemic period, we're going to focus on individualized learning. Why? Because we are all learning differently. Of course, at the end of the day, we are learning, but some are slower, some are faster. So we have to consider, let's say, the pace of the lesson. So about frustrating, I would say bureaucracy.
I see. Great, that one. the democracy, as it's always everywhere. Okay, so my other question is about the future of education. Like, what do you think? What do you think about the future of education or language education, Çağda hocam?
Actually, I am working on, as you know, future education. And according to OECD, I would like our listeners to visit the website of OECD after this speech. There are schooling scenarios for the future. And there are 4 or 5 items, and they focus on individualized learning. They focus on online learning, and it will be part of our lives, I'm afraid. It's not only because of the pandemic period, but it helped, let's say, the period. We are going to have very clever machines, but at the end of the day, we will always have teachers. Don't worry, we are not going to lose our jobs.
Yeah, that's the great thing you hear. Yeah.
The digital revolution have witnessed actually in most sectors, but it hasn't been fully finished or started in education. I mean, we have just started to experience it. And I'm sure in the future, we will be, let's say, we will focus on internet or online education more than now. As I said at the beginning of my speech, we are going to be, let's say, expertise, or we're going to study online courses, online testing. We're going to hear the word online frequently. I can say that about the future of education.
I see. Thank you very much. Thank you, Çağda hocam. Before I move to the next question, there is a question, and it is like, do you suggest to use our mother language or mother tongue when we teach a foreign language?
Not most of the time, but I'm not opposed to using mother tongues, especially in primary schools. I mean, we can use, but not very frequently. When students are in difficulties, when they have problems, when they don't understand something, okay, we may express or we may use their mother tongue, or we may let them use their own mother tongue, but most of the time it's better to use the foreign language, because the more we use, the more they learn.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think that's the answer of the question. Okay, Çağda hocam. My next question is, what will be the skills that people will need in the 21st century?
Creative thinking, for sure. You have to be very creative, because everything will be online, or everything is online, and you cannot copy and paste.
Yes.
That's simple enough. You cannot copy and paste, and you have to be very creative if you would like to be unique, different from others. And you need to have analytical thinking skills. You have to think differently. You should always have B plan instead of having only plan A. You should always have plan B. And what else I can also say, we have to focus on ICT and technology. We have to improve our technology skills, let's say, and being initiative, because it will be individualized learning. So being initiative, self-direction. Actually, we are turning to ourselves. We are going to look at ourselves more in the future.
I see.
We are going to discover our own strengths and weaknesses, and we are going to actually discover our own brains. So we have to be creative. We have to have critical thinking. We should always, let's say, have logical reasoning. We should always have reasoning skills. And responsibility is another keyword for the future, because it's going to be individualized learning, or because it's going to be personalized and individualized. You have to focus on your own skills, your own strengths, your own weaknesses. If you know yourself well, then you're going to move on. Remember Abraham Maslow, the hierarchy of needs?
Yes.
At the bottom, there are physiological needs. Then we have got security needs, then love and belonging. And the peak one is self-actualization. We should know ourselves. Yeah, we should know ourselves. And if you know yourself well, you can continue doing things.
Yes, wonderful point about that one, the pyramid. It's wonderful. Thank you very much, Çağda hocam. Çağda hocam, do you think, and just after these questions, do you think that the current way of educating children and fully prepares them for the needs of 21st century?
I am afraid. No, I'm afraid.
I see.
I mean, I am always discussing this issue with my candidate teachers, and they always ask me questions about the topic and what we can do. Of course, it doesn't happen in a minute or in a second like this, but you have to start doing something. Instead of waiting for miracles, it's better to start. What can we do in our classrooms? If we can change how people think, if we can make them focus on themselves, if we can make them find out their let's say, skills, abilities. If they can do this, maybe we will be ready for 21st century. But everything is changing rapidly. Everything is moving rapidly. And the key word is learning, learning, and learning. Learning should be lifelong process. It's not enough to study for 4 years to be a teacher. It's my 24th year, and I'm still learning.
Yeah, just like all the teachers, I think, as you said, when you stop learning, you stop teaching. I think, yeah, something like this.
Yeah,
life stops. Exactly. Thank you very much, Çağda hocam. So, again, a question which is related with the previous one. What role do you think the government should play in education?
Oh, it's really, really important because they decide on how we're going to learn. And they set out rules, they write regulations, laws, because they are creating the future of students or the future of the society. So the way they look at the education, I mean, educational philosophy, educational sociology, they have to consider all these things. But while they are considering these things, they have to consider the teachers. When you have a look at the OECD rankings, you're going to see that the first 5 are China, Taiwan, Finland. I mean, these are the countries that go up, and they are doing it by focusing on teachers, not the classrooms or not the materials. They focus on the teachers because teachers are the key element in education. They are the ones who provides change. They are the ones who changes the society. So if we change ourselves, if the government let teachers, let's say, be relaxed, if you are thinking about your salary at the end of the month, how can you focus on your job well? So like in Finland, workloads, salaries, I mean, these are the important things about teachers. Of course, we love our jobs, we love our students. I mean, we do many things for free and we don't care about it. We are really crazy people. We don't care about money. We love because we love people. But at the same time, the government should say, thank you, Volkan, or thank you, Çağda, for doing this and that. Okay, these are free in-service training course. This is for you. Or these are free books for you. Just positive support.
Exactly. You are right. It's really great one. It's really great. Thank you very much, Çağda hocam. And there was also another question. What is your view about people's hunger for immediacy? An example, if they don't learn fast, they just give up. So, can you see the question?
Half of it, I'm afraid. What do I think about?
Yeah. What's your view about the people hunger for immediacy? Immediacy? Something like immediacy, something like this. If don't learn fast, if they don't, can you see it now?
Yeah, if they don't learn fast, they just give up. Actually, it's easy in life to give up, but again, we have to focus on the teacher. We have to do something. If we would like to have the students learn, if we want our learners not to give up, we have to color the classroom. I mean, it's just a metaphoric word. Of course, it's not coloring the walls. We have to color the classroom. I always say, if your students love you, they will continue learning. So it's better to be a role model for your learners. If they see that there's a person in the classroom, she is trying to teach something, and I can, let's say, have her or him as a role model, maybe they will not think about giving up learning. As I said before, it's not an easy thing to learn a foreign language. we should always support with our ideas, with our personality, with our materials. But most of the time, we are these people. I mean, our side is important because we are the ones who are going to gain the students.
I see. Thank you very much.
I hope I can answer it.
I think that's good response for them. There is another question. I will come that question too, but just let me ask another question from myself, and then we will be back to that one. It's about your experience. Like, who? Don't give a name, by the way. Who was the most difficult student you have ever had, and how did you deal with the problem?
Actually, I cannot name anyone as a difficult learner, but for me, a difficult learner is someone who doesn't want to learn English or who doesn't want to learn anything. This is how can I deal with it? As I said before, I always find a way. Sometimes puppets can help me, sometimes songs, sometimes lyrics, sometimes poems, sometimes drawings. I always find a way to make the people learn the language.
I
but
see.
I'm afraid I cannot give a specific name or a person for you.
I got it. There's another question. Summarize it. Like, what are advantages and disadvantages of being bilingual? Like, sometimes I can't express myself. Like, I have two different languages, like Kurdish and Turkish.
I think it's an advantage. I don't think that it's a disadvantage, because you have got two languages in your mind, and you are trying to learn the third one. You should have an advantage, actually, because you have got all the knowledge, as Chomsky said. You have got all the forms, all the words, all the parts of speech in your mind, and you're just changing, you're switching on to another language. So I think it's an advantage. I don't think that it's a disadvantage. At the moment, I'm trying to learn French, and it's really that's just the pandemic period.
Great.
I have to do something, and it's challenging for me. And it's really interesting, because I know English, I know Turkish, and French is similar, because there are French words, cognate words. There are similarities in languages. It's better to focus on the similarities, I can suggest. I cannot see any disadvantages.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Çağla hocam, we are almost coming end, but I have just
how fast?
Yeah, how fast? So, Çağda hocam, what is your motto?
Oh, whatever you are, be a good one.
Good one. Great.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. So, other one is what do you think of the most exciting or effective learning environment should be? Actually, we are not in a class environment right now, but you can just give us a couple suggestions, maybe.
Again, I'm going to focus on individualized learning. You may learners, by saying you, I mean learners may create their own atmosphere. How you can do that? They can switch on the language of their mobiles. They can switch on the language of their, let's say, washing machine, dishwashers. They can listen to slow music. You can create the atmosphere. I mean, you can create the world for yourself. And as a learner at the moment, I strongly advise people or learners to create their own learning atmosphere. As I said before, I'm trying to learn French, and I am trying to read books in French. I'm trying to listen to French music. I am trying to understand the French culture. I mean, these things, These things actually are important. I mean, I didn't know that you're going to ask this question, but I have got flashcards, small flashcards. There are French words and Turkish words, and I am trying to look at them frequently. You can create actually your own atmosphere. It doesn't matter whether it's online education or not. Everything depends on you. You are the key person in your life.
In your life, you are right. Thank you. Thank you, Çağda hocam. There is another question. Let me ask that one. It's how can we teach our students to think in English?
Oh, that's really a difficult question.
Yes, it is.
Actually, it's about looking at the world. It's tolerating the differences or accepting the differences. We have to accept that English is not like Turkish, or English is not Turkish. It's a different language, and we have to, it's like a costume. You have to wear it when you start to speak. For example, although our native language is Turkish, we are trying to communicate in English. And jokes, our facial expressions, idioms, all these things are important. So we have to focus on, let's say, again, ourselves.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much, Çağda hocam. And I'm really sorry to say that, but I have to say it. Would you like to add anything before we end our session, Çağda hocam?
I have to confess that that's my first live Instagram activity, and I enjoy it a lot. I mean, life is full of learning experiences for me. You know me. I am always trying to learn something, and it's really enjoyable. I saw many people. I contact many people, and I'm very pleased to see you. I'm proud of you. I mean, that's being successful for me. I mean, I can say that I am a successful teacher because of you and our audience.
Yeah, thank you very much, Çağda hocam. And also, before we end our sessions, and I would like to say thank you one more time to accept my invitation and be
with pleasure.
With my first guest for 2020. So that was really honor for us.
I'm going to bring luck.
I'm sure it will. And thank you very much really for your time, for your ideas or suggestions, and especially you really made our tonight really great, and we got lots of things from you. Just like before, again, we have learned something from you. And also I would like to say thank you to the people who joined and who came to watch us in our live session and spent their time with us. And I hope that they got, I'm sure that they have learned something from you right now. And it's wonderful again to see you here. And I hope to see you in real as soon as possible.
I hope
to do it another sessions in the future, maybe the different topics with the different platform.
In our university.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And so that's all for tonight, by the way, to all our listeners. And this is the end of tonight of Teacher Talk sessions. And as you know that we had Çağla hocam tonight, and which was really wonderful for us. And I hope to see you again. And thank you very much to all. And good evening to you. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And I hope you enjoyed the session just like me. And one more time, thank you very much. And good night, Çağda hocam. And peace.
Thank you very much, Volkan.
Peace, everybody.
Thank you very much.
See you around.
Bye. Lefke. Bye.
Bye.